Hi, good evening. Yep. Hi, yes, just a minute. Literally, I can see no one in the class. I don't know why I'm conducting this. Yes. Hi, good evening. Sorry. Should I take the class seriously? We have, I'll launch a technical poll. Do answer in the poll whether I'm audible clearly or not. Yes. Okay. Hi, Manjula.
Hi, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. Sorry. ಇದು ಮಾಡಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
Yeah.
ಸಾರಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ನಾ ಇಬ್ರೇ ಇರೋದು ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲ.
Yes, ಅದನ್ನೇ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. Okay,
YouTube ಅಲ್ಲಿ
anyhow,
ಯಾರು
we'll
ಇಲ್ಲ.
continue, okay?
ಹಾ sure ma'am.
So I'm audible, right? I'm audible and the presentation is also visible. So no issues to start the class for now. Even in YouTube also there are no one. I don't know what's the point to conduct the class. Yes, anyhow, just a minute. I'll start recording. Yes, got that's what we are doing. Okay, just a minute. Yep. So Manjula, yes, Manjula, I'm making you a co-host only for safer side. Okay, Manjula. Yep. So yes, good evening everyone again, and yes, I have changed that. Okay. So yes, we were discussing about organisms and population, right? I guess Balgopal sir have already taught you about something about yes, organisms and population. So I just wanted to continue that by taking a few questions. Okay, so the first 10 questions has been done already. The remaining questions we are gonna do this. Okay. So this is done, right? How can you know, right? Yes, 10 questions are done already. So I'm starting with the 11th question. Yep. So the question is here, if you having any doubts, Manjula, are you in, or just say yes if you are into the class? In YouTube, it's still going 20 minutes long. Yes. Thank you, Manjula. Okay. Literally, what's the point of conducting this? Okay. So whatever. Yeah. So I'll just read the question, just try to answer. Anyhow, I'll launch the poll. I'll answer for myself, no problem. The population of an insect species shows how many? 0. Sorry. Okay, just let me read the question. The population of an insect species shows an explosive increase in the number during the rainy season. Okay. Followed by the disappearance at the end of the season. What does this show? S-shaped or the sigmoid growth of the insect. The population of its predators increase enormously. The food plants mature and die at the end of the rainy season. Its population growth curve of a J type. Okay, I'll launch a poll. Just a minute. I'll be back. Okay, just a minute. Hi, Manjula. You there, Manjula?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So now one half an hour class ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ and then we'll wind up the class. Okay.
Sure, ma'am. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಎಂತ ನೀವೊಬ್ರೇನಾ ಅದು ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ?
ಯಾ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ನಾನು ಒಬ್ಳೇ ಇರೋದು.
Okay.
ನಾನೇ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಇರೋದು ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
Okay, let me continue the class. Okay. We'll take a half an hour and we'll wind up. No problem. There is a one person who's that unknown. Hi, unknown. Okay, at least you have for us. Okay. Yep. There are no results at all. Nobody replied in the chat box. So what is the question here? The question here is that we all can. Yes. Not actually. I understood. Okay. The question here is that during the rainy seasons, we all can see the insects in a more number, right? So what does it mean actually? I mean, but at the end of the rainy season, we cannot see most of the insects. What is the reason? Because exactly at the rainy season, all the insects can get enough amount of food and enough amount of space what they require. So at that time, yes, at that time the population growth will be a J curve. You all know, right? So whenever the food and the space is in n number, or food and space is more, at that time we can have, we can see the J-shaped growth curve. Exactly what happens in the insects during the rainy season. At that time insects can get enough amount of food, so that leads to what? J-shaped curve. This is what explains to us. If you are having doubt, you can ask me. Okay. The one person in the YouTube. Yeah. Okay. So one in Zoom, one in YouTube. That's a good sign for now. Okay. And the next question is, which of the following is categorized as a parasite in a true sense? Exactly. Okay. So yes, of course, all are the four options are parasites, but in a true sense, which you can choose. Okay. The cuckoo lays its egg in the crown nest. Option A is, and option B is the human fetus developing inside the uterus draws a nourishment from the mother, and the female anaphyllus bites and sucks blood from the human, and loves living on the human scalp as well as laying eggs on the human hair. So yes, anyhow, I have only one person in the Zoom, so you can just answer me directly in the chat box according to you, which is a parasite in a true sense. Of course, most of them are a parasites, but in a true sense, which we can consider as a parasite. Okay, are you ready to answer, or can I go for it? Yes, whatever, right? If we have a student or not, yes, we have to do with high energy. Let's go for it. Okay. No, actually. Okay. So yes, the cuckoo lays its egg in a crown nest. We all know about it and have also shown you the answer for it, right? A video for it about a cuckoo which is laying its egg in a crow's nest. Everything I have shown you. But cuckoo does not depend on the crow throughout its life. Cuckoo only depends on the crow to lay and hatch the eggs. To hatch the eggs. So this is not a complete parasite. We cannot consider this as a complete parasite. So this is not the answer. And exactly in the case of a human fetus also. Yes, human fetus draws the nourishment from the mother womb during the 9 months period. Yeah, Anjula, no problem. During the 9 months of period. And then, okay, of course, after birth also, it can depend on the mother only for the lactation, but not more than that, right? Now are we depending on our mothers for our life? Yes, of course, emotionally, yes, but we all are independent. Yeah, so this is also not in true sense. And the female anaphyllus bites and sucks blood from a human. Yes, you need to remember it. This may be a question you may get confused in the future. What is this? Okay. whatever the insect bites you, whatever the mosquito bites you, that mosquito suck the blood only for the reproduction, not for the food purpose. Okay. So here you can observe one thing is that, oof, sorry, just a minute. Yes, I'm visible anyhow. Okay, so the female anopheles or whatever may be the mosquito, that mosquito depends on us only for the reproduction purpose, not for any other thing. So this is also not true. But head larves, what we can see, those completely depend on the humans. Okay, so this is what the exact answer in the true sense of parasite. I hope you understood. If you're having doubts, just do ask me. The next question, this is quite interesting. Okay, the normal people can also say this if you go through it in a clear way. The question is like, a biologist studied the population of a rats in a in a barn. That's the place. Okay. Yes, that is ectoparasite. He found that the average natality was 250. Natality means what? The birth rate was 250. Average mortality was 240. Birth rate is 250 and the death rate is a 240. Immigration is 20 and emigration is 30. The net increase in the population is what? Either 0, 5, 10, 15. Yes. Yes. Any answers I can get here? Okay, no problem. Yeah. See, I'll just take a random number. Okay, the number is like he's having 1,000 rats right now in the barn. There are 1,000 rats, and the birth rate, which means 250 rats have been born. Right, 250 rats have been born. If 250 rats have been born, so what's the total number now? 1,250, and in that 240 rats have been died. 240 rats have been died. What is the total number now? 1,100. So this is what exact number, but we have even more data. Let's consider that. Immigration is 20, which means 20 rats have been joined to that population. So we were having 1,010 rats. To that, 20 have been added, 1,030 rats. And 30 emigrated, so which have 30 rats have been moved to the other population. So in 1,030 we have, and 30 have been emigrated. So what is the answer? 1,000 again. You understood this? If I can say this in another way, there are totally 1,000 rats. So 250 rats have been born. So let me add those 250 also. What's the total population of 1,250? So in this 1,250, 240 have been died, the mortality rate, right? So let me eliminate of 240 rats. So what's the total number? 1,010 rats. So in this 1,010 rats, 20 rats have been immigrated. Immigrated means which have been joined to the population. So what's the total number? 1,030 rats. Out of 1,030 rats, 30 rats have been emigrated. So what's the total number again? 1,000. Is there any change in the rats? I mean, any change in the population number? No. Is there any net increase? The net increase is the 0. Yep, exactly. So you got the point, right? No doubts in this? Next, the geometric representation of a age structure is a characteristic of what? Ecosystem, landscape, population, biotic community. Yes, will you answer for this? Just guess the answer. If it is wrong also, no issues at all. Unknown? Yes. So give me the answer. Yes, I know. This is just kidding, okay? One more person in the YouTube. One person is just coming and going back from the YouTube. Okay, so I'll just go for it. Do you all remember this age pyramids? If you are remember this age pyramids, birth rate, death rate, all these things, they are the population attributes. If you remember the word called population attributes, population attributes. What does it mean? What does the meaning of the population attribute? It means that the character which is belongs to the population, we cannot consider the character for the individual. Let me take an example. If we take a sex ratio, how many males are there? How many females are there? Are we able to do that for the individuals? No, we cannot go for the sex ratio in an individual, right? Either the individual may be a male or female. We cannot consider that for the individual. So I can say that the population attributes means email. What is that? Population attribute means what? It means that the character which is belongs to only the population, not for any other thing. In that we have so many things: the sex ratio, birth rate, death rate, and the age pyramid or the age structure. So we can say that the age structure is the characteristic of the population. Okay. Yes, I'm moving to the next one. Yeah, just look at the beautiful images and try to answer for it. By looking at the image, you can say, okay, praying mantis, the insect which you can see in the image is a praying mantis, is a good example of camouflage, Mullerian mimicry, warning coloration, social insect. So, any guesses? No, no guesses at all. Okay. See, here you can observe the Manjula, yes. Unknown, no, it's not giving. Just looking at the first image, don't think that it is giving a warning. Okay. See, you can observe that image, the insect called as a praying mantis, which is present on the green background, and the body color is also according to the background. And whenever it is at the light pink background, and the body color is also similarly same, right? So this calls as what? Yes, it is can be called as the camouflage. You might be knowing about this, right? The chameleon, right? That is gonna have the camouflage which can adjust to the background or blend with the background. Okay. Yes, I hope it is clear to you. Unknown. The formula for exponential population growth is, what is the formula for exponential population growth? All clear? Okay, good. dn by rn is equals to dt, dt by dn is equals to rn, dn by dt is equals to rn, and rn by dn is equals to dt. So I'll just go for the answer. The answer is that dn by dt. So what does it mean? Let me just go for it. Okay, so dn by dt means I want to calculate a population. Okay, now in a pond there is a lotus population for now, and I want to check the lotus population after 3 months, after a particular period. So how can I write that? I need to go for dn by dt. Very good. dn by dt. dn by dt means how much population has been increased in a given time. This is what we need to calculate. How can we calculate? Yes, I have a formula for that. Rn. Yes. So n is initially how much population is there. Let us say initially there are 100 lotus plants. So n is 100. And what about r? Here r is equals to birth rate minus death rate. How many lotus plants have been born and how many lotus plants have been died. This is what called as R. So this is very easy to consider. Very easy to calculate the population growth. Yes or no? Isn't it? Yeah, you have to say yes. Okay. And a high density of, okay, we are moving to the next question. Change in a population with respect to time. Yes, very good. Was that SS, high SS in the YouTube? Yep. 17th question is here. A high density of elephant population in an area can result in what? What do you think about it? Just let me know in the chat box. Options are like predation on one another, interspecific competition, mutualism, intraspecific competition. Come on, what's your thoughts on this? In a particular place, the elephant population is more. Okay, we can get such situations in any of the species, either elephant population or insect population or tiger population. For our understanding, I have just taken as an elephant population. In a high density of elephant population in an area can result in yes, that is what intraspecific. So what is intraspecific means the competition within the same species. The competition within the same species. This is what called as the intraspecific competition. And you can see high density of elephants are there. Those elephants have to go for the same resources. At that time, what happens? Resources are very limited, but the elephant number is very large. Exactly what happens at that time? The competition between the elephants starts, right? That is what called as intraspecific. Interspecific means what? Option B, you can see here, interspecific. The competition between the elephant species to the other species, which means the competition between the two different species. This is what called as the interspecific. But here, if the number of single population is very high, they can go for the intraspecific competition, which is survived or which is more fit. That elephant can survive and it can utilize the resources. Okay, predation on one another, no. One elephant cannot go and eat another elephant. Okay, so predation will not happen. And mutualism, see, they cannot go for the mutualism because all the elephants are using the same food, same place. They cannot, I mean, you take half of this, I'll take half of this, but how long it will work, right? It is not going to work. So mutualism will also not going to work. Intraspecific is the correct one. Is this clear to you? Is my voice breaking? Manjula, can you just let me know in the chat box? Is my voice breaking? Manjula is there? No, I am clear, right? Yep. Manjula, if you have questions also, do ask me. Okay, no problem at all. Oh, let's just interact. SS, yes, you are correct. SS in the, who's that? In the YouTube. Yeah. Next question. 18th question is here. Annual migration. Third one. Just. Okay, the question is like, annual migration does not occur in the case of Arctic tern, salamander, salmon, Siberian crane. So, any guesses about this? Yep, in the YouTube. Yes, Manjula, correct. Okay, so I told you one thing, right? During the class, I have told you that most probably we can see the migration in birds and the fishes. So the Arctic tern, salmon, Siberian crane. Okay, Siberian crane is a bird. Arctic tern is also a bird. Salmon is a fish. What about salamander? Salamander is not, it is neither a bird nor a fish. It is an amphibian, right? There's no migration at all, whether it is an annual, biennial, whatever may be the migration, but it doesn't show the migration at all. Okay. We have lost one more that student also in the Zoom. Okay. So we'll move to the next question. A sedentary sea anemone gets attached to the shell lining, shell lining of a hermit crab. You can see that in the image. On the top, you can see just umbrella-like structure, right? That is what called as the sea anemone, which is attached on the shell lining of a hermit crab. The bottom one is a hermit crab. What does this association is called? Symbiosis, amensalism, ectoparasitism, and commensalism. Okay, so this is what called as commensalism. So what do you mean by commensalism? Commensalism is the one where one organism will get benefit and one more will get nothing. Is unaffected, I can say, right? So exactly what happens here, the sea anemone which can get a shelter on this hermit crab. Just a minute. Okay, so but hermit crab does not get anything. It does it neither gets harm nor get a benefit. So we can consider this as a commensalism. What happens in a symbiosis? Symbiosis, both the living organism associate to get the benefit. Okay, can be considered this under the mutualism also. And amensalism, where one will get nothing. One organism will unaffected and one more will get affected very badly. And ectoparasitism, this is of course parasitism, right? Very good. Parasitism, one will be getting plus or minus, I can say. One organism will get benefit and other gets nothing. Yes, great. So you involved in the class. Nice. The 20th question. Just a 10 minutes will wind up. Okay, the most ecologically relevant environmental factor. The most ecologically relevant environmental factor is temperature, light, water, and soil. That is a temperature. Yes, all of the four are yes, correct. All of the four options are, of course, they are the factors, non-biological factors or abiological factors which we require in our ecosystem. But among all those, the temperature which always stood at the top. Yes, correct. Yes. Next is homeostasis is what? Okay, I have just added a few more questions. So I thought that there will be a student, so can extend the time, but unfortunately, yes, homeostasis is tendency to change with the change in environment, tendency to resist a change, disturbance in a regulatory control. Plants and animals extract used in a homeopathy. So homeostasis, we all know the internal environment, right? Internal environment which does not change according to the environment. If environmental temperature is increasing, decreasing, that doesn't matter for it. Okay, so the tendency, the resistance of the internal environment will always stay as it is. Okay. The next question, many freshwater animals cannot live for a long in a seawater and vice versa because of buoyancy related problems, lack of impermeable skins, thermoliable enzyme, and osmotic consideration. Yes, very good. That is osmotic consideration, because we can see in the seawater, the salinity may be about 30 to 35 parts per thousand salinity, but whereas in the freshwater we can see around 5 parts per thousand salinity. Whenever we have moved the freshwater fish into the saline water fish, now what happens, all the water content, which is because of the osmosis, what happens, the water obviously present more in the fish compared to the surrounding. So now what happens, the complete water from the fish will go out. Okay, so this is what gonna happen. So this is the main reason. This is considered as a osmotic consideration. Because of that, the freshwater fish cannot live in the saline water. You might have think, right? Okay, just do one thing. Take a fish, any saltwater fish. Okay, take any saltwater fish if it is available. If you are in the beach areas, you can get very easily the small fish. Just keep that in an aquarium. Will it able to survive? No. What is the main reason? Yes, this is what osmotic concentration. The osmotic concentrations will get changed in the saline water and in the fresh water. So just to maintain that, we are going to have this. Okay. A population interaction where one species is harmed whereas the other is unaffected is called. This is very easy. Just try to answer for this. One species is harmed, the another one is unaffected. Okay, will you answer? Or can I go for it? I'll just answer for this. See, mutualism, what has happens in the mutualism? Both the organisms will get benefit here. Mutualism, both the organisms will get benefit. Just a minute. And next is the competition. So what does it mean? Competition, in the competition, both will not get the benefit. So both will not get the benefit at the same time, both will get harm here. And in the predation, the predator will get benefit and the prey will get harm. Yes. And whereas in the commensalism, one organism will get unaffected and one more will get harm. So this is what called as the commensalism. Okay. So where one will get harm and another will be unaffected. Okay. Yep. Most probably this may be the last question. We'll see. Which of the following is not an ectoparasite? Lies on human, which not an ectoparasite. Read the question carefully. Which of the following is not an ectoparasite? Lies on humans, sophiopods on marine fishes, and mistletoe on other plants, and female anaphyllus on humans. You need not to go for all the questions, all the answers. You can directly go for it. I told you, right? Mosquitoes are not the parasite on a humans because those mosquitoes require a blood of a human just for the reproduction, not for any other purpose. So you can just close your eyes and you can choose that option. No need to bother about the other options, right? Yep. If you get such kind of questions also, okay, you don't know the answers. Answers are not in the NCERT. So you can see that the mistletoe on other plants, these options are not exactly present in the NCERT, but we have got that. Why? Because this sentence is there in the NCERT, right? Mosquito is not the parasite on the human. This sentence we have already in the NCERT. So they're considering that, we can easily go for it. So that's what, that's why I already always told you that, I always tell you that go with the NCERT always, because 95% of the questions from a NEET you are going to get from the NCERT. So always, yes, of course, the self-study is more important. Make your own notes. That may improve your capacity. At the same time, go with the NCERT. Yep. Yes, correct. When the population density reaches the carrying capacity, the logistic growth curve is said to be a lag phase, phase of acceleration, phase of deceleration, asymptote. Let me just draw the graph of sigmoid growth curve. Okay. So firstly, what happens? It will be not much increased. That is and then lag phase, and then phase of acceleration, phase of deceleration. And whenever there is a carrying capacity, exactly at the carrying capacity, we can have the asymptote, right? So this is what the lag phase, option 1, and then will be the acceleration phase, option 2, and then will be a deceleration, that is option 3, and here you can have the option 4. What they're asking the question, when the population density reaches the carrying capacity, right? Exactly This line is reaching the carrying capacity. This can be called as asymptote. Yep, that's all for today. If you're having any doubts, you can ask me here in the chat box. Otherwise, just you can ask me later in the WhatsApp. Yes, thank you. And I have launched the teacher NPS. You can answer in the poll. Oh, sorry, Manjula, you cannot answer, right? As you are a co-host. Anyhow, I'm ending the poll. You are the only one in the class, so you cannot answer. What do we do? It's already 6:40. So, okay, Manjula, I'm winding up the class. Just do one thing. End the stream, no? Yep. What to do? If there are any students, we can at least we can discuss the questions by their doubts, but we don't have students at all. Sorry. So I'm ending.